Please, the show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The enemy has come, like a thief in the night, but I'm ready to fight. My brother don't think we can win, so I looked up to God and said, open his eyes. He saw the angels surrounding the camp. He saw that God was way more.
Yesterday I received this, I'm guessing it was a junk email from a local attorney. And on that email, he has this photo, picture from the Lady of Justice, you know. I stared at that photo for a long, good moment, you know. Keep standing, looking, just gotta understand, you know, the fact that most of us has that belief when they look they statue that it's all about justice. There is no one can go ahead and make me believe of that. And I cannot agree with anybody on this. See, when you see that statue and you see that it's blindfolded, why is blindfolded? And most of lawyers try to go ahead and make you believe that she's a blindfolder because justice is blind. Blind to color, blind to religion, blind to races, right? I can't agree with that either. And then you ask yourself why they scale. Most of the lawyers say because justice is equal. Can't agree with that either. It is not. It is not equally justice in those days. You know? And I can't even tell anything about the sword that she holding. You know? Maybe the sword she can shovel. Because it doesn't mean crap. You see, when you understand before going judging people or before believe of anything that the man put it out there for you to see it, you know, you need to really understand what judicial system in the United States and even most of the other countries has become, right? Because as I said before, justice is something that comes from above. It's God. That's the only one who really fight for you, for me, for everybody. If you really believe, look, this Lady of Justice and some of the lawyers understood in a time that justice is gonna be served. I don't know where you're coming from, which planet you live in. Because of this planet, it is not true. I'm gonna put a video for you guys to see. Something that I haven't been telling you guys in previous videos that I post on my YouTube channel and also my website. You're gonna see this registered nurse that work on this ICE facility, which is not ICE facility. It is a for-profit private facility owned by a private company that it is paid by the government to house a lot of illegal immigrants or people that face deportation. So I want you guys to watch the video to see what she's got to say, and I really hope you guys understand. You see, for many years when I went through the system, I learned that the African American and immigrants on the hands of the government is just the numbers. It's just a number for those involved. It's just a number from judges. It's just a number for prosecutor. It's just a number for the for-profit prison companies. So it's just a number. So then you ask yourself, what is the meaning of this just sister lady? That means crap, you know. But watch the video and see what she has to say. And that's the facility that I was illegally placed on it for 3 months during the pandemic. And of course, after that, as the story goes, 3 days handcuffed and shackled, and a illegal removal from the United States. So take a look at this video and we're gonna talk some more.
I've been nursing at Irwin County Detention Center for the past 9 months this time go around. I've seen the conditions inside the facility throughout times passing. I decided to become a whistleblower after this last round with COVID-19 because I began to ask questions about why were people not being tested, and the ICE facility had paid for 2 COVID testing machines in the facility. Had not seen them until June. To my recollection, they were not used on any of the detainees that were there from the time that I was there from October until July the 2nd. Began to see the living conditions that they were in, things not being sanitized, coming to work, not having the proper PPE. I was called in one day and I was demoted. I was told to come to work. I did not report one day to work and I was written up for a no call, no show. So my full-time reservoir now became a no job at all. The management needs to be changed. You have the lives of not only family members that are waiting to see their family members, but you're held accountable. As a nurse, I took an oath that my life, when I step in, no longer was my life, it became the lives of others. I was told that when they bring immigrants in, that they were a head count for pay. It's not an attack on LaSalle, and it's not an attack on ICDC. All I want is that people are treated and triaged medically correct, and they're treated in medical timeliness, and they're treated just as if we make a doctor's appointment and we arrive on time. Why not treat them medically on time? Why not make sure that the conditions are set aside and set right for them? I became a whistleblower. Now I'm a target. But I'll take a target any day to do what's right and just than sit and be a part of what's inhumane. I was told that when they bring immigrants in, that they were a head count for pay. I was told that when they bring immigrants in, that they were a head count for pay. I was told that when they bring immigrants in, that they were a head count for pay. I was told that when they bring immigrants in, that they were a head count for pay. I was told that when they bring immigrants in, that they were a head count for pay.
What did she say? Head count for pay. We are recount for pay. How about that? Every single person, every life, human being, these people can put their hands on it. And doesn't matter what they have done or even if done anything. If they can manipulate the system and throw this person on those kind of facility, as this nurse described on this video, you become just a profit number on a Wall Street. There's a lot of people that are going to be seeing this video, and you know what I'm talking about, because you're the one that buys stocks from your group and the other private prison, right? Listen, people, this thing should not be a news to anybody, you know, because every single politics that is involved in this. Marco Rubio continued receiving thousands and thousands of dollars by Jew group. Trump has received. Biden has received. All of them is in favor of incarceration. But of course, they put the $2,000 suit going from the TV and talk about freedom, equal rights, and all the garbage that you see come up out of their mouths every day. And this is the reality. See, because we all become this creature, this selfish creature, we don't care about this anymore, right? We watch many injustices on those days on videos that is placed on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we say, oh, poor person. Most of us make our comments, but then what? Nobody do anything. You know why? Because everybody's afraid of the system. You see? I have had a friend that was threatened to come to testify during my trial. I have a friend that has been thrown out of the courtroom by the Mickey Mouse squad, Eddie Van Brunt, to avoid him to testify, right? My ex-wife was threatened with deportation back to her own country. And of course, my employee, Renata, who actually committed a sham marriage, right? Actually, she committed a federal crime, was asked to come and lie in trial, to have a free pass from jail. So this is the system. Those that has the power, they always, constantly, they're gonna do whatever it takes. They're gonna manipulate the system. They know how to push papers. They know how to do this game. They're gonna manipulate everything they can on their behalf. They're gonna go ahead and do this massive marketing campaign to make you look bad, because that's our society in those days, right? If the police place a handcuffs on an individual, well, this individual must have done something bad, right? Because cops is the good people, right? No, they are not. Don't you see enough on the YouTube and the Facebook, all the videos, what they've been doing? How many African American people has been killed on the last couple of years? And then what happened? People go outside, they fighting, they scream, they breaking windows and everything else, until the next one get killed and rendezvous all over again. Nothing gets changed. I wonder why. I ask every day, why this didn't change? Now, make a little bit worse, okay? I'm gonna place this video for you guys to see from CBS News, right? And you see what they do inside those private prisons. You see how much a human being become just a thing, an object that they can touch, they can make money out of your body. Because inside the some ICE facility, doctors was taking pieces of females' bodies to sell. Can you imagine this? They were lying to all this bunch of people that come from Central America. They didn't understand English. They didn't have much education to even understand what was going on. And doctors say, well, you're gonna need surgery right now or you're gonna die. But I want you to go ahead and watch this video. And then we're gonna talk some more.
Women is coming forward with claims that they were the victims of unwanted and unnecessary medical procedures at a federal detention center in Georgia. 22 women shared graphic stories in support of a lawsuit filed by court yesterday alleging poor treatment. Maria Villarreal shows us how many fear retaliation for speaking up. They say they're at risk of imminent deportation. And a warning, Maria, for some of our viewers, that the story and the description of what they're saying can be very disturbing and graphic. Good morning to you, though.
Good morning, Gail. That's exactly right. Immigration Customs Enforcement says that they deny all claims of retaliation, and they say that they did not speed up any deportation of these women. But this new complaint describes allegations of dozens of procedures that patients and also an independent team of doctors that was hired by lawyers and advocates say was medically unnecessary.
I think that because we're immigrants, they believe that we should just be mistreated.
Yanita asked us to use only her first name because she's talking to us from inside the Irwin County Detention Center. In a new complaint and declaration filed Thursday, she alleges Dr. Mahendra Amin improperly performed a transvaginal ultrasound after she told him about her hysterectomy. The pain was excruciating, her declaration reads, and felt like being raped.
Have you been sexually assaulted before?
Yes.
Do you know what this feels like?
Yes. And it did bring down a lot of those memories back.
The team of outside doctors who reviewed Yanita's records, along with thousands of pages for other women treated by Dr. Amin, say there is a disturbing pattern of women pressured to have surgery that was not medically indicated and to which they did not consent. Dr. Maggie Mueller is a member of that team.
These are procedures that carry risk. They require sedation, they require anesthesia in the operating room. And when you talk to these women, they really had no idea that they were going to have these procedures done.
So there is a concern from the review board that more damage could have been done to these women than they even know about.
Certainly, that is a profound concern that we had.
Attorneys say attempts to obtain full records for all the women have been blocked.
We do not have all of the records. All of the records for all of these women are controlled and held by the federal government.
Lawyer Ilora Mukherjee represents 2 Irwin detainees.
There is a culture of brutality and dehumanization at the Irwin County Detention Center. Women are terrified that if they speak to the federal investigators, that they will be deported in retaliation for speaking out.
That's exactly what Hiromi Navarro says happened to her.
I am in Mexico because I spoke up, because they deported me for being outspoken.
She claims her deportation was expedited, leaving behind 2 daughters after raising concerns about medical procedures at Irwin.
And I always teach my daughters, even the 2-year-old, my 8-year-olds especially, speak up, baby, speak up. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid, love. Speak up.
There are multiple ongoing investigations into these claims, and a lawyer for Dr. Amin says he's cooperating with all of those investigations. He has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing in these cases and says that he treats his patients with the utmost care and respect. Yesterday, a dozen or so congressional delegates, Democrats, sent a letter to federal investigators asking them to protect at least 18 of Dr. Amin's patients, saying that they are in detention right now and they are fearing for deportation, so they're asking for that protection of them because they could have crucial evidence in this case. Anthony?
An alarming story, Maria. Thank you very much.
Well, as you can see, the same detention center that was placed for 3 months. See, can you imagine those girls went through? They have a proceeding done toward them that was not necessary, right? Was not needed for that. Besides, to the point, they went through such a excruciating pain without anesthesia, right? Without even understanding why there was force, because as you can see, it was not conceived. You see the way things going for the judicial system, at least for the federal system, is intimidation and threats, right? So you have those people in your custody and you want to make money out of their sorry asses. And then you say, well, either you're going to do this, we're going to be sitting here for years to come, and we're going to place you also in solitary confinement. That's what they do. And it is law already. Even the Supreme Court has mentioned before that it is not right to place people in solitary confinement for more than 15 days. That's why I don't believe in justice. That's why I don't believe in laws. Because there's so many people that are staying in solitary confinement confinement for weeks to come, months, 3 months, 6 months. I know that for a fact because I deal with that. You know? And did Ray James I was placed in solitary confinement when I sued the warning, you know, for violating rights. And I was there for 22 days. You know? You wanna feel what it look like? Well, just go ahead and shut yourself up inside your bathroom and stay there for 22 days. That's it. And you're gonna have at least idea what this look like. And the funny thing is that it doesn't look like nobody cares, nobody do anything about it, you know. Seems to be today, it is the only thing that people really care about is showing the private parts on Instagram, dancing, throwing jokes, you know. And in the meantime, this world that we live in here is going out of control. You want to see what solitary confinement do to you? Let's watch this next video.
Stay calm. Follow these voice instructions. Make sure 911 is called now. Start CPR. Press, 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 press,
Interview beginning at 7:34 a.m.
4:44 a.m.
2:34.
5:37 a.m. on July 11th, 2018.
This investigation is to determine whether any criminal laws have been violated that resulted in the death of Efrain De La Rosa. Efrain De La Rosa.
It is not an administrative or disciplinary inquiry.
You're not being compelled to give any statement or answer any questions.
Your cooperation in this investigation is voluntary.
Would you be willing to talk to me today?
Yes.
What's your title here?
Detention officer.
Detention officer.
Assistant shift supervisor.
And what's your title here?
And you're employed here through Stewart Detention Center? Stewart Detention Center. Your employing company is STG International. And that's contracted out for you to work here, I guess. Where were you assigned that day?
I was assigned at 7B segregation.
Not here trying to make the situation any worse for you than it already is. I'm just here to talk to you about last night.
So tell me about the incident last night.
Well, how does the day start, or what leads up to this event?
It was pretty much a normal day.
Are you familiar with inmate De La Rosa? Do you know anything about him, like deportation status or anything?
He's been here before. And he's been for the Fat Watch.
In the past?
Yes.
Did you know if he was on any medication?
He did have medications. They were psychotropic medications. I just know based on his what his diagnosis was.
What do you remember what that was? I mean, if you can't share.
Schizophrenia.
Did you know why he was in the seg unit?
Said I was good for him, just like that.
The DR sent him to segregation.
Just because he had touched me.
Have you ever had any issues with De La Rosa? How do you remember dealing with him?
If I was smiling and say, hey, or if a nurse came out, gave me some medicine, be like, oh, she's a pretty lady and stuff like that. You know, I just tell him, keep his comments to himself, and keep it appropriate at all times.
personally ever had any issues with him disciplinary?
To me, he was always nice.
He was always at the door waiting and pleasant, I mean, smiling.
He always cried. This guy over there, he always cried. You can ask everybody. He always was crying, but they don't care.
I would ask him, are you having any episodes? Are you hearing voices or seeing things? Are you having any symptoms?
Could he speak English?
Enough that, no, I don't want the medication. And I would say, why don't you want this? I don't need it. Enough to say, I don't need it.
No, he was not acting normal while he was there. He would say he was a prophet.
He said God don't forgive him?
He said, take me out. I want to be here, my family. Take me out. Because he don't talk to nobody. He just say that loud. That's what everybody do sometimes.
We have clipboards. We signed on 30-minute watch log form, which rounds within every 30 minutes.
He split the rounds up. He worked the top tier and the bottom tier.
The next thing was he turned the lights too early. He turned the lights early, and they know, and they saw that's not normal. And we told them something is happening. We told them, can you check them? They didn't even care. He already died when he walked the first time. That was like 10 o'clock.
The last we did the temp for him was
he was plowing and was making the beds.
He was sitting down in the bed?
He was sitting down.
These people, they don't pay attention, they don't care. He checked the second round. That was like 10:30, 10:35. He saw the guy. And when he saw the guy, he called everyone like, something is happening, and the guy is already died.
We're taught to not see anytime an emergency situation like that by ourselves because it could be a setup. And as soon as I see the guy say, send the patrol rail possible, he said, I then go get the cut down tool.
Cut down tool? What is the cut down tool?
Basically a suicide knife.
And that's specifically what y'all have it for.
So when he opened the door, they had to cut the light on, and they did it.
We all go in, they hold the guy up, and I use the cut down tool to cut the saw.
You said it was a saw?
Yes, sir.
So when they called the code, I just grabbed the camera and I ran straight to segregation. When I got there, I said, I hope this is a drill. I hope this is a drill. So when I looked, I just saw the man on the floor, and I just threw the bag down and got the camera in his phone.
Stay calm. Follow these voice instructions. Make sure 911 is called now. Begin by exposing patient their chest and torso. Report outflow if needed. Start CPR. Press, 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 press. Stop compression. Give breath.
So he was found hanging? Yeah, like literally hanging? He's still not joking. Yeah, he's on good. He's critically dead right now. We're doing everything we can to reverse that.
Honestly, just surprised. He was nice. Just seemed like everything was okay.
They just think, oh, you're like animals. They hear everything. You hear freezing. They don't care about if we clean or not. If you think that's a person, you can live like that. No, we can live like that. What are you gonna do in here 24 hours? Just think about and worry about everything. You don't have nothing to lose no more. I don't have nothing to lose.
Regional 911. Yes, ma'am. This is Stewart County. We had a detainee that hung himself. And they took him to Cuthbert Hospital and they pronounced him dead. I think we had one last year to do this.
Well, you see it. This Mexican man with a history, with the mental problems, was placed that long in solitary confinement. And in the end, you can see a bunch of people try to revive this man that already was dead for probably 10, 20 minutes. It does look like they know what they're doing anyway. So then you see how much they care. How much the American, Africa, and the immigrants' lives matter in the hands of the federal government. It's just a number. You folks need to understand that it's your money, taxpayers' money, they're helping for all of this. See, every single country in those days struggling after the man created this lab COVID-19 virus, which exploded on the whole entire world with a purpose. Because I know for sure this virus come out with a purpose, with a financial purpose only. And today we see everywhere people are divided. The vaccination is good, the vaccination is not good, the vaccination is worse. You asking yourself now, how much your life cost? How much meaning of a life those days cost? And it is tough to believe that anytime soon, things gonna change for good. That we're gonna learn from our mistakes. That we're gonna see the worst and become a better people. And I don't see that. Even after this pandemic, that's still killing people. I don't see this. Most of us want to make any change to live a better life, to make the world a better place to live for the kids and for those, in the future. I don't think that any change is gonna happen. I can pretty much say that whatever is happening today is right there for you to read in Apocalypse. Yeah, you're right, on the Bible. Because for all these wrong things that's going on in this world we live in today, there is nobody to blame besides ourselves. That's the reality. Everything it is done wrong, we did it. And we continue doing. A couple of years ago, another African American person was killed on the hands of a 4 state trooper, Greeny. And the state troopers at Louisiana tried to cover up this for 2 years until they couldn't cover up no more. You see, one thing that I learned also about the justice system is this. They'll try to lie, cheat, misleading, cover it up as long as they can. When things are about to blow in their faces, they're gonna get one of the weakest person on their agents, and they're gonna throw this person under the bus. That's the way they do, because you know what? On the end of the day, for all the wrong that is up there, we always need to find someone to take the blame, right? Because we cannot accept the responsibility for what we've been doing. So, and that's what they did it. So I'm gonna play this video for you guys and watch what the police office that's supposed to protect us have done to this man.
With regards to the Ronald Green investigation, what we'll do here today is kind of go about some of the timelines, and as we discuss that, some of the processes involved, and from there, kind of speak to some of the changes we've made with our agency. But before I get started, I want to start by offering my sincere condolences to Ronald Green's family. You know, for those of us that have children,
Mr. Green was, to some degree, even though he had just finished leading police officers on a lengthy and high-speed chase, his inclination at that particular point was to acquiesce to what the officers wanted.
Let me see your hands! Put your hands behind your back, bitch. Give me your fucking hands. Put your hands behind your back. Taser, taser, taser. Put your hands behind your back. Behind your back. You're about to get it again if you don't put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I am sorry.
What's problematic for me is that Mr. Green is now left on the ground, on his stomach, handcuffed in a prone position. And officers are trained throughout the United States that once there's a struggle of this nature, the individual's handcuffed, that you need to push him off onto his side or get him in a sitting position so you can allow that breathing to be unimpeded by his own body weight.
This guy ain't got fucking AIDS.
And that didn't happen for at least, based on my calculation, 9 minutes, where Mr. Green was left alone. And then when he wasn't left alone and he tried to get over onto his side, another trooper pushed him down using his foot against the lower back and buttocks of Mr. Green. And I didn't understand that. There was absolutely no reason for that. Under no circumstances should Mr. Green have been drugged by his ankle shackles. That was malicious, sadistic, completely unnecessary. And the officer that did it's going to have to be held accountable.
Tonight, a family says they were told that their loved one, Ronald Green, died after crashing into a tree. And now shocking new body camera video shows he was tased, kicked, and dragged face down by troopers in Louisiana. That video, which I will warn you is tough to watch, was held under wraps for more than 2 years, only coming to light now because it was leaked to the Associated Press. Ryan Young is out front.
The video seen by the public for the first time in about 2 years since the deadly encounter between Ronald Green and Louisiana State police officers.
I'm your brother, I'm scared.
After a high-speed chase led to a deadly confrontation just outside the city of Monroe in May of 2019, Green's family says the police initially told them the 49-year-old died in a car crash. State police said he was taken into custody after resisting arrest. Green became unresponsive shortly after and died on his way to the hospital. But new video reveals a more disturbing confrontation. In body cam video obtained by the Associated Press, troopers can be seen repeatedly punching Green after appearing to drag him out of his vehicle.
Taser, taser, taser.
Troopers tase Green multiple times while he's face down on the ground as they attempt to handcuff him. Another trooper appears to kick Green.
All right, all over. This guy ain't got AIDS.
The Associated Press released 3 segments of the original video, which it says is 46 minutes long. Only 2 of the video clips have audio. CNN has never reviewed or obtained the original video, and it's unclear what occurred before or in between the video clips. The 2019 state police report says officers attempted to pull Green over for unspecified traffic violation. Moda Harden, Green's mother, says 2 investigator officers wouldn't tell her why law enforcement was chasing Green. Harden says the lack of transparency on behalf of authorities has been painful.
I'm so pissed, but I'm a good pissed because we're going to get results.
The Associated Press reports that at no time on the video can troopers be seen trying to render any medical aid to Green, who, according to the Associated Press, was face down and moaning for more than 9 minutes.
You better not move.
2 of the officers continue to be employed by the department. Both were reprimanded for their actions that night. One faced a 50-hour suspension for manipulating their body camera equipment. The other placed on administrative leave for an unrelated incident. A 3rd officer died in a single car crash accident last year. For now, Green's mother continues to fight for her son.
Yeah. Another one. Another one on a cop's books. Another life waste. And what they try to do? Cover up. The hypocrisy of these people is so absurd to the point that after 4 white police officers torture a man, kill him, cold blood, kill this man, put him through so much pain until they took the last breath. You can even hear a police officer confess on tape that he beat up this person, that he's got a blood all over himself. The guy is dead. What the state trooper police department do? They place another African American people to go in front of the cameras to give excuse. What a way to go, right? Well, we kill an African American person. We cannot have a white person go say something. We need to put a black one to say, you know, that look nice. And then what? Huh? Then there's a lawsuit was filed against the state. But how much money you think you can offer a person's life? Do you think it'd be enough money to cover for this man's mother's lost? Or you believe that she harder to have her son next to her than a couple of $1 million in the bank? Wake up, people. You need to really wake up and smell this coffee you're drinking each and every day. Stop this nonsense. You know, everything we've been doing, it is wrong. And it's time to realize that. See, there is not much good things that one person only can do it when the other 100 doesn't want to change. You know, it is a thing in Brazil that a lot of people want to talk bad things about the president, Bolsonaro, right? That he's a bad person, that he's destroying Brazil. Let's go back and place Lula, which is the previous president, charged with crimes and everything else because he's better. And then you see the ignorance of people that believe that the previous president was good because back in the days he used to give food and TVs and other things, material things to people. And then you can see the desperation with us, right? Everybody wants to possess something, right? And whatever it takes for you to have that possession, oh, I take it. Oh, if you give me I have a pound of a chicken, I'm gonna vote on him. That's just the mentality in Brazil. But in the meantime, a good president today tried to fix the country, and a lot of people was against. But not because they understand what this new president was doing, it's because those corrupt politics keep manipulating and throw all this garbage on the media to make this president look bad. You know, and that's why I'm saying to you that it is almost impossible to do any changes in those days, because one person tried to change, tried to put it away, all this corrupt politics. But you see what the problem is? It is too many corruption. And those that gain so much profit from corruption doesn't want anything to be fixed, because it's good for them the way it is. So if I come out and try to make changes, you know, and in the meantime, the change I'm going to make is going to take money from your pocket, you don't want me to change anything, right? Because that's the only thing we think about, money on our pockets. Forget about the progress, forget about future, forget about doing something good. And this has become the judicial system. For those that try to change, as you see in those videos that I place here, you get deported, you get thrown in jail, you know, you get to be tortured, you get to be sold on Wall Street. Listen, it is ridiculous for me to sit in here today and tell you that, you know, since December 11 of 2017, I have a habeas corpus pending on Southern District of Florida. I emailed many different motions and amended those motions straight up Judge Williams' emails. In fact, it is a video that I posted not long ago that I emailed to Judge Williams as well, showing her physical evidence, showing her the truth, put in front of her fraud conducted by the lawyers that being stealing money from taxpayers by submitting false information to court in order to collect money, right? Status in a video that I posted before, you know. And then last month, a congresswoman that was arrested with allegations of a fraud in Tallahassee, Florida, her case got a reverse, and she's gonna have freedom back, because during deliberation, one juror made a comment that the Holy Ghost has told him that that woman was innocent of the charges. Not here to judge this woman and talk about her case, but the point is that, you know, when someone sent me the information about this case, what catch my attention that time was that one of the judges on the review on the appeal was Judge Robin Rosenbell, the same judge that 2014 have resigned on my federal case. They wanted all the lies, the one that submitted so much false information into the records, the one that has alleged falsely that I didn't cooperate with my lawyers, you know. So she's in appellate court now. And it was funny for her to make some comments on this lady's case that the jury should not be removed, you know, but she removed a jury from my case. A jury that made a comment that back in the days, ICE, immigration, has threatened her family, has done something wrong to her family, although she was, even though she was a United States citizen, immigration done wrong to her family. So Rosenbell took her out of the case right away. Why? Because she made a bad comment, a negative comment about the government. Well, this can be good for government to have the kind of jury that really have something like that on the mind. But then in the meantime, I have another jury that confess being reading my case over the newspaper, despite the fact that the judge say you can do that. Well, he stay in the trial until the end. Despite also the fact there's another one that walk in court crying, begging the judge to get off the case because she's too afraid after she give up too much personal information. So for this judge now to make that kind of comment on this congresswoman's case, and she do that different on mine, then you start put all that together about the lady of justice, right? Equal justice, justice is blind. Can you tell me some more? All these years, man, when I went through the system, you know, I haven't heard that I was a bad defendant. I was a bad person. Yes, I was. Because I was fighting against such a corruption. You see, was this U.S. Marshals agent that used to transport inmates back and forth from the detention center to court. You know, he has a beard, he's a bald guy, a little heavy, you know, and he's work out of Fort Lauderdale in Broward County in Florida. You know, after debating something with the judge in one of those days in court, and I even tell the judge, you know what, the law say this, and now you tell me different story here. So that's a clear violation of my rights. You know, was not much come back from the judge in that scenario, besides she say, I'm not gonna argue with you anymore. Case is over, right? Because that has been all the time when I present the judge, well, but look what your law say. Why are you not gonna do the same for me? That's what the law say. That's what the law requires you to do it. Oh, Mr. Scott, I'm not gonna argue with you anymore. That's it. And I have jackass marshals remove him from the courtroom. This guy made a comment to me and say, hey, Mr. Scott, when you are in high school or in school at all, have you get yourself beat up? You know, I was kind of concerned about my case. I didn't get, you know, much about the question. You know, when he asked, have I been beat up in high school? I said, no, none that I remember. Oh, maybe this was the problem. Maybe you need to get beat up, you know, to stop this nonsense. And this come up out of this guy's mouth, you know. But that's the guy that believes he's the man. He's got a gun. I'm the U.S. Marshal, right? See the kind of behave that I went through in 8 years? And this is nothing compared for other stuff that eventually I'm going to tell you guys. For this guy to come back and say that to me, because I'm debating, right? I'm trying to get in debate the law with the judge. And she's supposed to sit in there on that bench and do the law, what Congress has approved and as a requirement as a law for her to do it, and she avoid to do it. And then in the meantime, I have to have some jackass, like this fat ass bald guy, that think he's God, he's the man because he's a U.S. Marshal. You know, tell me that. You know, when you get yourself in that position, it's very funny how much a lot of people try to overcome in you because they believe they have the power. You know, because I have even one lawyer made something court when I was handcuffed and shackled. And I told him, very funny for you to say that when I got a handcuffs and shackled in my legs. Come to Brazil, let's have a vacation, have a little talk about that. And I want to see those people say that in my face right now. You know, I haven't been angry for so long. When I spoke to a good friend of mine and asked me to let this go, let this anger feel like I'm not angry anymore. I don't understand why people think that I'm angry. I have this angry, and I even have this other guy say that that's a cancer that lives inside of me. No, it is not. You see what it is? Dignity, character. I'm not a coward. If you're gonna do something wrong to me, you're gonna pay for it. It doesn't matter it's gonna be this life or the other life, but I'm never gonna stop to fight for what was right. I was falsely charged, falsely accused of an unexisting crime, illegal trial without a lawyer, convict and unlawful sentence to 108 months. You think I'm gonna let this go away? When you see so much violations in one single defender case, when you see so clear corruption by court-appointed lawyers, by the Mickey Mouse Squad agent Von Bern, his wife's involved with my ex-wife, prosecutor misconduct. Man, when I review my case, when I see every single information, combine all that together, it is a bucket of a crap. And excuse my French, it's a bucket of a shit, on one single defender case. And for Judge William, being sitting on this habeas corpus with so much evidence in front of her, which the law required for this case to be reversed and thrown away, that shows to you right there. You think that anything in this world we live gonna change those days? It's not gonna happen. Now, I see things change. When things change? When you have another followers to like your videos. When you have another followers sharing your videos. When you have millions of people following you and support your cause. Now, the society might gonna do something about it because it is too much smoke. And besides the fact that we might gonna get exposed, then we need to make this go away. So let's reverse this case. That's the only way. That's the only way things can change. On this case, I have previous also saying that I have attorneys that has defrauded my family for money. I contact the state's attorney's office, I file a complaint. I contact the Florida bar, I file a complaint. I present to them physical, clear evidence of the fraud of this person. Nothing was being done until I start coming here to you guys, place videos, information, evidence in front of you guys. And then this person spoke to a family member and decided to make the right thing. And you think the person made the right thing because she feels sorry for me or because she come to her sense that what she done was wrong? No, she did it. It's because her reputation was on the line. It's because other lawyers already saw it and told her, well, you need to go take care of this because this can turn to a big thing. And yes, can turn to a whole lot of big thing. Can you imagine you, a professional lawyer or accounting, whatever you are, and you done something wrong to a person? That person has all the evidences in life, and this person gonna be every single day place this all over the internet. Do you think you're gonna get a job? Do you think anybody gonna hire your service? Know what you've done before? Of course not. And that's the only reason this person came back and said, oh, I'm sorry. Let me make this right. This is sad, you know, but I'm okay with that. You know, I know if I wait for apologize from all those that have done wrong, from their heart, it's not gonna happen. But I guess you can say this: for every bad thing that we do to others, you better believe this: your day to dance with the devil will come. Until next time.
At the end of my life, gotta make sure that I die with honor. Fulfill my destiny, there's no stopping me. I will fight until there's no one left. Every breath, every step, until my death. If I fall, I will rise. Cause you can't take the hood that's inside of me. At the end of the night, I will rise up from the ashes. Rise up from the ashes and fight.
See, the war started in a faraway land, let's call it Japan. See, the emperor had his son and his most trusted man, who got jealous cause the son was the heir to the throne. So he made up a plan, he would destroy the land. I will take all that I can. Took a third of the army and their supplies went under disguise. Deceived most of the world with one phrase: you won't surely die. Now for us to live, one man dies, so just look to the sky. So gather your courage.